What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Measure Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the game F-1 World Grand Prix 2, which was released on the Nintendo 64 by Paradigm Entertainment and the Game Boy Color and the Sega Dreamcast by Video System. Now, the game is based off of the F1 World Grand Prix circuit, and it's a sequel to the game F1 World Grand Prix. And it is worth noting that the Nintendo 64 version is based off of the 1998 season, while the Game Boy Color and Sega Dreamcast versions are based off of the 1999 season. And for the sake of this review, I'm going to mainly talk about the Game Boy Color version. You know what I'm saying? Although I believe that the menu for the Dreamcast version has the same modes with a couple of extra modes added to it, I believe. If that's the case, you can mention it in the comment section of the video. Now, the modes in the Game Boy Color version are one player match race and options. And under the one player mode, there's the exhibition, Grand Prix, challenge, and time trials. Now, the exhibition mode is pretty much self-explanatory, where it's pretty much like the pre-season for this game, you know what I'm saying, where you pretty much pick one of the drivers and race against the other 10, you know what I'm saying, because there's 11 drivers overall and stuff. Now, you pick your driver, your car, and match up which your car's performance, and you race against the other 10 to try to come in first, you know what I'm saying. Now you can pick one of 16 tracks from like Germany, Japan, Italy, Brazil, or Spain, you know what I'm saying. And like I said, you can pretty much adjust your car based on the track you pick, you know what I'm saying. Now, the Grand Prix, which is pretty much the season mode of the game, you know what I'm saying, you can pick Friday practice, Saturday practice. You can do a warm-up, qualify, or do the race itself, you know what I'm saying, as far as the Grand Prix. Now, with the two practice modes and the qualify mode, you pretty much have 22 laps to come in with the best time, you know what I'm saying. Now, the Grand Prix, on the other hand, you pretty much have 2 laps to go through, and you race against pretty much 21 other cars, you know what I'm saying. Now, with the challenge mode, you pretty much pick from 5 drivers in an attempt to complete a specific task, you know what I'm saying. And if you don't complete it, you get a chance to start over, you know what I'm saying. Now, with the time trials, you pretty much race against a ghost car and try to get across the finish line with the fastest time possible. Now, the match race is where it's pretty much a 2-player mode where you play against somebody else, where you're trying to, what the goal is to get across the finish line against the other player, you know. And all you need, of course, is 2 Game Boy Colors, 2 copies of F1 World Grand Prix 2, and the 2-player cable link and stuff like that. Now, with the options, you can make changes to the language, whether you want English, French, German, or Spanish. You can change the speed type and the car number. You can also view like the professional record, the rookie record, and your win-loss record and stuff like that. Now, the graphics and design for the game are pretty good, you know what I'm saying, with some nice color palettes and everything. The control and gameplay are pretty decent, but it can be hard to avoid some of the guardrails while you're making the turns, whether you try to turn like left or right and stuff like that. Now, during gameplay, there's really no soundtrack in it, even though I think that the game could have benefited from having a soundtrack while you're playing it, you know what I'm saying. Really, technically the biggest gripe I have with the game is the difficulty. It's really like connected to the avoiding the trying to avoid the guardrails while turning, but it's not that big of a deal, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like ruin the game for me, you know what I'm saying? And the amount of replay value is pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? It's specifically with the one player mode, stuff like that. Now, I wouldn't consider F1 World Grand Prix Tour a must have per se, but it is a pretty fun game, especially if you're a fan of the racing genre and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the score, I definitely give F1 World Grand Prix 2 an 8 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good game from an overall standpoint, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, sound off in the comment section about F1 World Grand Prix 2. Do you like it? You know what I'm saying? Which mode do you like the most, whether it's Grand Prix, Exhibition, or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? If you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy, Big Metro Fan 12, signing off.